Hello everyone. As a part of digital communication lab experiments, today I will discuss about linear block coding, both encoding and decoding process as a experiment number 9 in our digital communications lab. Once again, welcome to this lab session. Here, in order to understand this linear block coding method and the meaning of coding and what type of coding it is. So to know all these things, first of all, you should come back to the basic block diagram of digital communication system. In this block diagram, you can observe each and every part of the digital communication system, each element of the digital communication system, one after the other. As you know that initially there is a source, whether it may be analog source or a discrete source. From the analog source, if it is analog source, we need to convert into discrete and then digital. So conversion of this source into digital is done by using the source encoder. That means here you should know the difference between source encoder and channel encoder. Then only it is very easy to understand what is the linear block coding method. Source encoder is just to convert some set of symbols like A, B, C, D and some symbols like this. Set of symbols generated from the discrete source is converted into some group of bits like this. For example, A is coded into 110 and B is coded into 10, something like that. So each symbol is coded separately and then the combined sequence is generated by the source encoder. So by default, the source encoder converts the symbols into bits or maybe original data into bits. So conversion into digital. Then what is the purpose of channel encoder? Already we have an encoder which is known as source encoder, which converts the symbols into bits like this. And what is the purpose of channel encoder? So the purpose of channel encoder is to detect and correct errors. This is the main important purpose why we use channel encoder. So in order to detect and correct errors, detection of error means we need to know whether there is an error in the transmitted bit sequence while we are receiving in the receiver. For example, after transmitting the signal while you are receiving here in the receiver section, this part is the receiver section. When we are receiving, we should be able to know whether there is an error or not in the encoded bit sequence. Similarly, you need to identify exactly where the error is. That means, is there any error in the second bit position or is there any error in the fourth bit position? Like that. You need to identify the error and finally you can correct the error. So in order to detect and correct errors, we use channel encoder. So for the purpose of detection and correction of errors, so what is the process they used in the channel encoder is, when the input bit sequence is coming to this channel encoder, so it adds some extra bits to the original message bits. So these extra bits, what we generally call as a parity bits. Okay, so that means the output of the channel encoder will be having the original message bits as it is, along with some extra parity bits. So how these extra parity bits are added, that depends on the type of encoding method used in the channel encoder. There are different types of channel encoding methods are there, like simple technique is Hamming code, linear block code, cyclic code, and some CRC codes are there, are turbo codes, and different coding methods are there. But in our session, in this lab session, out of all these types, we'll discuss about what is the meaning of linear block codes and how this linear block code method is used as a channel encoder and how these parity bits are generated along with the message bits. If this data is directly passed through the channel and while we are receiving, for example, after modulation as well as demodulation, finally What is there here? The input to the channel decoder. Again, this kind of digital data is coming here. So how this digital data after receiving, how to identify the error, whether there is an error or not. If you identify there is an error, then how to correct that error. So both the error detection and correction can be done by using linear block code. So in this experiment, we'll see how this error is detected and how it is corrected, everything is okay. So before going to that experimental analysis, so let us focus on some theory regarding this linear block codes, encoding and decoding. Now, this is what the log diagram. So before going to this, this is what experimental kit. Before going to the experimental analysis, so let me tell you some theoretical part about the linear block codes. Here, there is a separate procedure for encoding and decoding. Encoding is very simple, such that the encoded word, that is the output code word, is just the multiplication of two matrices. One matrix is the message matrix or code message vector, and another matrix is G, it is known as a generator matrix. That means simply if you multiply, for example, consider the input message data as m is equal to 0101. For example, if you in case in a decimal form, if it is the number 5, so that is the code for general binary data for number 5 by using BCD code is 0101. So this is multiplied by some generator matrix. So this generator matrix, which is defined by the designer, so we need to know about the generator matrix beforehand in order to find out the code word. So simply using linear block code, by multiplying these two matrices, directly you will observe what is the encoded output. Here you can clearly observe that 0101, here also 0101. That means first the message bits will come as it is, and then here 3 extra bits are added. So these 3 extra bits we can call them as parity bits. So this is how the parity bits are added in addition to these message bits in order to detect and correct errors by using linear block code. So in linear block code, simple matrix multiplication is used. So next question is how these parity bits, how these added parity bits are used to detect and correct errors. This is the next question. So for that purpose, there is a separate procedure for decoding. That procedure is called as syndrome decoding. So in this syndrome decoding, once we receive a code word in the receiver section, let us say that Y is the received code word. It may contain errors or it may not contain errors. We need to identify whether there is an error or not in the received code. For example, if we know the received code word Y, then first step is you need to calculate the syndrome vector, that is S, by using this formula, Y into H transpose. Okay, if Y is represented in row matrix or row vector, then you should write Y into H transpose. If you want to represent in a column wise, then the formula will be reversed, that is H into Y transpose. Okay, why I am saying is because in your laboratory this formula will be reversed because the Y is displayed in vertically, that is in a column wise. So you need to write like H into Y transpose, whatever it may be. If S is 0, that means the vector elements of S all are zeros, then we can say that there is no errors. No errors. Okay, so you can directly say that there is no errors. Then if S is not equal to 0, having some values like this, then definitely we can say that there is an error. So first identification is we identified that there is an error, S not equal to 0. Then second step is if you identify there is an error, then exactly where the error is. In order to know that, the first rule we should know is in this syndrome decoding process, all the rows of H transpose are equal to syndrome vectors. That means whatever you calculated the syndrome vector, that definitely matches to any of the row of H transpose. If you represent S as row vector, if it is represented in a column wise, we need to identify, we need to compare with the columns. Okay, so here all the rows of H transpose are nothing but the syndrome vectors. So for example, in this example, for any received data, you calculated the syndrome vector, and the syndrome vector is found out as 101. Since it is matched to the second row of H transpose, exactly 101, here also 101. So then if the syndrome vector is the ith row of H transpose, then there will be an error in the ith bit position of the received code word. Since it is matched to the second row, so definitely we can say that there is an error in the second bit position in this received code word. So exactly we identify that where the error is, and then last step is we need to correct that error. So finally you know that there is an error in particular bit position. That means instead of 1 it may come 0, or instead of 0 it may come, it is showing 1. Simply we need to reverse that. How to reverse that? Simply by using an XOR operation with the received vector and the error vector, you can definitely reverse that particular bit position. Okay. So all these things we'll see in the experimental analysis, also in the theoretical analysis also. For example, in the encoding process, we need to have one matrix which is called generator matrix, and in the decoding process, we need to have a parity check matrix which is known as H. Okay, these matrices you must know by the designer itself. Then only you can able to calculate all these things. So if the receiver vector is y like this, if you calculate the syndrome vector by using some formula, then the syndrome vector is found out as 1 1 1. Since 1 1 1 is matched to the first row, if you transpose this, it matches to the first row of H transpose. So it indicates that there is an error in the first bit position. That means here it is showing it is 1, but this is an error data. That means original data must be 0. For example, if you compare this is what the original transmitted code word 010101. But here 110101. That means instead of 0, it is showing it is 1. So we clearly identify that there is an error because S is not equal to 0, and also we identified clearly where the error is. That is exactly in the first bit position. So in order to correct this error, simply by using that XOR operation, you can replace 1 with 0. So how to make this XOR operation means this data is simply make an XOR operation with error vector. The error vector E is made all zeros except there is a 1 at corresponding error bit position. So wherever there is an error, you need to place that as 1, otherwise all the things are 0. So if you take an XOR operation between Y and error vector, automatically 1 XOR with 1 is automatically 0, and remaining all are XOR with zeros means same data is coming. So this is very simple operation, making an XOR operation with Y and E. So this is what the procedure. Now we'll see the experimental analysis. This is what the experimental procedure. So all these things are not required. Anyway, I will tell you about the procedure. Now look at the experimental analysis. So in this, we need to compare the theoretical data with the practical outputs, and as well as I will explain this video in a play and pause mode. All of you keep note on that. Here. So here, let us see the experimental video. Now this is what the experimental kit. Here before that, once just verify our block diagram of experimental kit. So this is what the block diagram for encoding. In this, first the data is generated from this 7-segment display. For example, here this 4 or number 5, from number 0 to number 9 we can generate. The corresponding binary data for that particular number, decimal number, is displayed here, and this is considered as a message vector, and this message vector is multiplied with generator matrix. So this generator matrix is by default created in this particular designer kit. So after matrix multiplication, definitely we'll observe there is a encoded output, which is nothing but the output code word for the linear block code. And all of you remember that whatever may be the addition operation used in all these matrix multiplications and other things in this type of channel coding methods, so that addition operation must be considered as XOR operation only, since there is no addition in matrix multiplications. So when you multiply this one and this one plus This one and this one means that plus operation you should consider as a XOR operation. So keep in mind that. So then simply by matrix multiplication, you will get the code word, and these are the code word pins. If you connect all these pins to here directly, then the same data is obtained as a parallel data like this. So that data is going to be connected to the receiver here. So that is the received data, that is Y. So again that received data is obtained here with errors. If you connect like this, same data here, so we don't get any errors here because we are not connected to any error, noise generation. So in order to generate the error by ourselves, then connect any of the input or any of the data pin to the NOT gate and connect the NOT gate output to the other section. Then automatically this bit position is connected to the NOT gate. So when you connect to the NOT gate, automatically that 1 becomes 0 or that 0 becomes 1. So that you can easily generate the noise. So intentionally we are generating noise in order to observe the experimental analysis. So connect any one pin to one NOT gate and reverse that bit position so that the error data will be coming at this encoder output. So that error data is obtained here, and that is again multiplied with the H matrix. Since here this is represented in a column wise, so that's why the formula for calculating syndrome is H into Y transpose. So this parity check matrix is multiplying with this. So here in the decoding side, this matrix multiplication is used. In the encoding side, this matrix multiplication is used. Here we use generator matrix. Here we use H matrix. That is parity check matrix. Then the syndrome is generated. Then you need to compare the syndrome with any of the columns of this H matrix. If it matches to the fourth column, so definitely there is an error in the fourth bit position. We need to identify that this is the error. So that error you must correct by using this XOR operation. So it is error corrected, and finally decoded data comes here. The same number whatever you displayed here, that will be decoded as here. Okay. And these pins are nothing but you can do an experiment in default mode or manual mode. I will explain both the things. Okay. And some clock pins must be connected from transmitter to receiver, and common ground also must be connected. Okay. Now let us see experimental video. Yes, I am switching this. I have displayed number 5 here. The binary representation corresponding to number 5 is 0, 1, 0, 1, and this is multiplied with some generator matrix. Okay, so this generator matrix, if you observe that the generator matrix generally having two parts. Up to this is the identity matrix, and after this there are some ones and zeros. So those will be obtained from this H matrix selection. But initially, let us see this first. This is what the input binary data multiplying with the generator matrix. Okay, that is G. So this is obtained. These elements are obtained by using this H matrix selection. So, but by default, if it is set to default mode, so all these things must be in zeros. Down switch means 0, up switch means 1. So based on this, generator matrix is selected like this in a default mode. Okay. Then this is what the corresponding encoded output. When you multiply these two matrices, this is what the output 0, 1, 0, 1, that is the same message vector along with some 3 parity bits. These are the extra parity bits which are already added. Now I have connected these data pins. So if you want to observe exactly how the parity bits are generated, you can apply this formula directly. Okay. Then if you observe these connections, all these pins, data pins, are directly connected to the other outputs in parallel to serial converter. But except the first one, I am connecting to the NOT gate, and the NOT gate output is connected to here. You can look at that connection. So that this is what the data. If you observe that, this is what the data after error correction. Sorry, after error addition. For example, if I have not connected any NOT gate here, that's why the same data is coming here initially. Now I am going to connect to NOT gate to any of this bit. For example, I have selected the first bit directly, so that is connected to the NOT gate, and the NOT gate output is connected to the other bit. Then automatically the data is going to be reversed in the first bit position. So the 0 is converted into 1 here, and the remaining bits are as it is. This is how we need to generate some noise in order to analysis of decoding. Right? So 0 is converted into 1 here, remaining data is as it is. Now that finally the data, output data is connected to the receiver here, and some clock is also connected, and same default mode selection. Receive data is connected here, from here to here, and next clock must be connected, common clock must be connected from encoder to decoder. Similarly, common ground is also must be connected. Then only the outputs will be obtained correctly. So again, in the default mode, all this must be in zeros. So by default, H matrix is selected here, and this is the received code vector. This is as it is. Same data is coming here. Okay. Same data is coming here. Now, when after this matrix multiplication, you can clearly observe this is what the syndrome. So same data, we are verifying this whether it is same or not. So syndrome is calculated by this matrix multiplication. So this syndrome is 0, 1, 1. So this is exactly matched to the first column. So it indicates that there is an error in the first bit position. Okay. So 0, 1, 1, that is matched to the first column of that H matrix. So definitely it indicates that there is an error in the first bit position. Here, where is the first bit position? That is there. Okay. So automatically that bit is corrected. So it is 1. Automatically it is corrected to 0. So that is the corrected data, and then so that corrected data is exactly same as the translated encoded output, and that is decoded here as 0101. So finally the number 5 is displayed. Okay. So that is what the encode decode operation. But when you want to do a experiment in the manual mode, then we need to select this H matrix. So how H matrix is selected means there are some rules here. Okay, minimum 2 ones are there in each row, and no rows are same with respect to other. Every row must be different. Like that, you can select H matrix selection like here. Okay, same selection must be there in the decoding side also. So automatically here the H matrix selection is changing, generator matrix is also changes, output code is also changes, but same error is coming from the first bit position. So the same thing is connected here, and here also in the manual mode same kind of selection is done similar to the encoder. So here also syndrome is calculated. So again that is matched to the first bit first column. So there is an error in the first bit position, that is corrected, and finally 5 is displayed. Okay, that's very simple. So that is what the experimental analysis. So coming to the observations, we need to identify what is the H matrix and generator matrix in all the cases. So while displaying the decimal value in the 7-segment display starting from 0 to 9, in this experiment I have explained only about 5. So you can also try and verify for all the remaining 9 decimal values corresponding binary data, how the encoded code word is generated, how it is corrected, how it is decoded, and what is the final display decimal value. You can do everything as a practice by using this experimental analysis. Okay. So, thank you very much for this lab session. We'll meet you in the next lab session. Okay. Thank you.